various acknowledgements to get our meeting underway. But first, I need a motion, Council, for the agenda. And thank you. Moved by Councillor Rice and seconded by Deputy Mayor Kiley. All in favor? Those opposed? And that's carried as well. In recognition of the City of Mount Pearl's commitment to foster respectful and collaborative relationships with Indigenous peoples here in the City of Mount Pearl and beyond, we hereby acknowledge that the land on which we gather is the ancestral and unceded territory of the Beothuk and the Mi'kmaq. Mount Pearl and the broader metro region continue to be home to diverse Indigenous peoples, including First Nations, Inuit, and Métis. Council, before you is the minutes. I thank staff for pulling them together. May 27th, is there any errors or omissions before we adopt them? Hearing none, I'll call for a motion. Thank you, Councillor Fry, seconded by Councillor Lane. All in favor? Those opposed? Carried. Just testing. Deputy Mayor, can you hear us? Pause for station identification.
Perfect, loud and clear. I was
Okay.
on. Thank you, Your Worship.
Oh, no, I just want to make sure. Thank you. Anything business arising, folks? Okay, let's move on to the next section, and we have some check presentations to do. We had a really good environmental initiative that we were able ultimately to do some fundraising with some of our community groups, and it related to promoting sustainable waste practices here in the city of Mount Pearl. And the goal was to deliver what are called 2 paper yard waste bags to every house here in the city of Mount Pearl. And what we're trying to do is make sure, grass clippings, garden waste does not end up going down into the dump. It can be recycled and reused. And the paper bags are recyclable as well. And we're very happy to say the participating groups were Mount Pearl Soccer's Challenge Cup team, the first Mount Pearl Lions Scouting Group, we had the Mount Pearl Marlins, and we also had the O'Donnell High School students who participated. I see 2 of them here in the room. They participated in Relay for Life, which raised $22,000. I guess it was a cancer care type of relay. So we're so glad you could take some of the money that you earn through deliveries and put that to another further good use. But it's all good. You represent great organizations, and we're only happy as a city to help you to promote your goals. But we're also very happy to create this eco-friendly environment. I want to thank Carrie Hodder in our Marketing Communications Division and many other people. I know I make a mistake sometimes by mentioning names and not necessarily including everybody, but it was a great initiative, and we're really proud of what you've done. I think it was 50 cents per delivery. I don't know if that passes for labor laws or not, but at the end of the day, it depends, how much you can get delivered, I guess, in an hour or 2 or 3. And from what I understand, you did it in groups or pairs, or not everybody could participate every day. So, there's that little thing about building up team spirit, that works out really, really well. I see the Challenge Cup team is represented here. They beat Paradise 1-0 on Sunday. Some of us were down to that. So it also, at the end of the day, I think I should summarize, it supported our green goals. It also supported environmental awareness within the community. And we're so glad that some of the nonprofit organizations here in the city were able to benefit from it. So what we'd like to do, because really you're here for the money, right? You're not here. Yeah, okay. I get you. I'll move along, Toby. We're here for the money, and I'd like to invite Carrie to come up with a check, and we'll do a bit of a ceremonial picture with council. But trust me, I won't say the check is in the mail, but the check is coming. And I'd like to invite council up along with you folks for a picture. So we have Amanda Dalton, Toby Barnes here with Scouts. We have Ian Cole and Julie Hammond here with O'Donnell Relay for Life. Come on up, folks. We have now from the Challenge Cup team, we have Mitchell Rayner and Timothy Mivando? Lavundel, thank you. And representing the Howard family, we have Andrea, along with Isla and her brother Sam, who participated as well. So council, come on up and join us because you can see the size of the check. You should see the banking machine you're going to have to drop it into.
What a great bunch. Well done, folks.
Council, before everybody leaves, anybody want to make a comment? I think it was a super initiative. I hope I summarized it on your behalf, but if you'd like to speak, now's the best opportunity. Oh, good.
I just want to make one comment.
Oh, Councillor Rice, yes, please.
I just want to make one comment is that I've been driving around the streets pretty early the past few mornings and the bags are actually out being filled up. So around the streets, so it's really good to see and hopefully we'll continue doing it.
There may be some election flyers. Never mind. Folks, I'm going to steer you back now to the agenda, and I think we've made great progress here today. It's good seeing everybody. We're going to move now to the Corporate Services and Public Works Report. Councillor Rice.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just going to get down to the agenda here now. Here we go. Thank you. So the first one on our agenda actually is the renaming of the June holiday. So the city is proud to bring forward this initiative that reflects our ongoing commitment to truth, reconciliation, and inclusivity, in line with the City of Mount Pearl's values and in recognition of the diverse cultures and contributions of Indigenous peoples. We are proposing to rename the June holiday, formerly known as Discovery Day, to National Indigenous Peoples Day. Since 1996, June 21st has been recognized nationally as a day to recognize and celebrate the cultures and contributions of First Nations, Inuit and Métis, Indigenous peoples of Canada. By aligning our local holiday with the national observance, we are acknowledging the importance of Indigenous perspectives and taking action to support the calls to action of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the calls for justice of the National Inquiry into Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls. The renamed holiday will be observed on Monday, June the 23rd. The city encourages its employees and residents to participate in National Indigenous Peoples Day events on June the 21st and to utilize the holiday on Monday to contribute, to continue to reflect and learn together. So recommendation from the Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends that the City of Mount Pearl rename the June holiday to National Indigenous Peoples Day. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, and thank you. Seconded by Councillor Lane. Council, any further comments? I'll save further comments later on. I think we have Councillor Lane.
Yes, so the initiative celebrates the heritage, traditions, and knowledge of First Nations, Inuit, and Métis peoples. It strengthens partnerships with Indigenous organizations like First Light and First Voice, and the change promotes public education and community engagement around Indigenous cultures. This is a meaningful step towards decolonizing municipal practices and building a more inclusive community. Since signing the Declaration in support of the rights of Indigenous peoples, city staff have joined the First Voice Urban Indigenous Coalition's Joint Coordinating Committee on Indigenous Rights. So I think this is a great step, and I'm fully supportive of this initiative.
Thank you, Councillor Lane. Over to you, Deputy Mayor Kiley.
Thank you, Your Worship, and well said by my colleague, Councillor Lane. I believe a lot of the work and initiatives that the city is doing is not only in relation to the holiday, but also when I think about every public meeting, we have a land acknowledgement. And we're doing it in a meaningful way. We're not only just observing a holiday, we are engaging with it every day through our work with First Light and I just wanted to identify some items of celebration, specifically that First Light is having on June 21st. There is a sunrise ceremony that takes place. There's also a National Indigenous Peoples Day celebration from 12 to 5. So those things are, while happening in our sister city of St. John's, they are meant for anyone from the greater surrounding area. And again, these are great activities to not only celebrate, get engaged, but also know more about why we're celebrating and also wanting to protect and advocate for the rights of Indigenous people within our communities. I believe the sunrise ceremony usually happens. I'm just double checking now. It usually does happen at Cape Spear as a federal item, but I'm not seeing where they may have it this year. However, best place to check is, this is a good opportunity to go check First Light's Facebook and website. You'll probably be able to navigate it better than I can right now. However, it's worth your while. And like I said, if you got the holiday, it would be a great opportunity to engage in some of the actual Indigenous-led items. And that's all I've got to say.
Okay, I'm going to call the motion. All in favor? And those opposed? And that motion is carried. And I'd like to welcome Sean Broomfield and Heidi Dixon from First Light to come on up and join us. We're very proud to have worked with you. Very happy to see you. And I think Sean or Heidi or both, you're welcome to.
I don't know.
But I'll share the mic just to make sure the deputy mayor can hear you. Sean?
Fair enough. I'll speak a little lower in the mic. Thank you first and foremost for inviting us here, and what a warm welcome. We really appreciate that. And everybody at First Light is delighted, as you can imagine. So who am I? My name is Sean Broomfield. I happen to know, the mayor knows my wife, who I just recently got married. You'd be happy to know I'm living in Mount Pearl, so that's pretty good. So yes, all good ties there. But no, I recently started working with First Light as the municipal reconciliation liaison. So I've been working very closely with the city of St. John's. So I'm almost working on behalf of the community. So almost like a go-between, I guess, between the community and the city. So exciting things are happening. And so we've had those meetings. We have a joint committee meeting. And so last few meetings that I attended, the Mount Pearl folks have been joining us, Carrie and Janice. It's been nice to see you guys here again today. So, but yes, so we've been having those meetings and getting to know each other and getting to know what we're doing around the city. And so this announcement today really excites me, I have to say, and I'm really appreciative as someone who's Indigenous from Labrador. So I'm a member of the Nunatsiavut government, so Inuit of Labrador. I've been living out here now for the last 8 years. And so this is a big deal, guys. This is huge. And it shows, you're putting your money where your mouth is. Anybody can read off a land acknowledgement and all that. But to back it up, with action like this is so good to see. And one thing that it'll do is this. Well, lots of things it'll do, but for me, as an Indigenous here living in your community, it'll make me feel a part of it and welcomed and that's huge. And so, when I'm able now to go back to our Indigenous community, say, you know what, Mount Pearl is having National Indigenous Day. And that's great, guys. And and the other thing that it does too is you're going to bring what I would say the community to you. You're going to draw the community to you now, and that's huge. And moving forward, ultimately, what we're about is truth and reconciliation, right? And this is a huge step in getting us there. It's a huge step. Some communities will start off with small steps. I consider this a huge step. And I'm excited to see it. It does my heart good. And my job now is to work closely with the City of St. John's. But I'll say this is that, and I think Carrie and Janice can say this, is that our doors are open at First Light. Anytime you need anything from us or support in any way, we're here because we love to see change like this, and it excites us. So thank you for that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Sean. I'm just gonna add a couple of things because you did a great job at covering most of it. I was also here in September when the first declaration was signed here in these chambers, so it's really great to see we didn't just sign a piece of paper then. Like there's now actual change. I'm back here again seeing actual change happening, which is great. I'm also a resident of Mount Pearl as well. I've lived in St. John's and in Paradise, and now I've been in Mount Pearl for 5 years. And I've always been proud to be now call this my home and be a part of Mount Pearl. I feel that Mount Pearl does a really good job of building community as a municipality. I always kind of feel like there's a community here. So just echoing Sean's, and now I feel even more represented here in the city as well, which is great as well. I also wanted to add to Deputy Mayor Kiley's point, the sunrise ceremony will be at Bannerman Park bright and early at 6 a.m. Yeah. Yeah, so just want to say, really glad to be here, really glad to see this happening, and can't wait to see where we go from here. Thank you.
Thanks, Heidi. Thank you, Sean. I think I would like to end, though, by giving a shout out. You mentioned the declaration that we signed last September. And we also refer to the land acknowledgement, but we have taken it a step further. And I think we're proud that our staff have worked with you. Looking at our CAO, Cassie, along with Stephanie, Janice, of course, and Carrie, the hard work that went into this. I don't really think it was hard, but a lot of work goes into it. And I want to recognize the work that you guys have done in making all of this happen, right? It really made our work as a council very easy. And I'm glad as a council we're able to support everybody along this journey, right? And let's not this be the end. Maybe the sunrise ceremony be at St. David's Park next year or at Powers Pond. But the
Love
42
that.
calls for change serve as that roadmap for advancing. And that's a journey. And we're glad to have you join us today. And even though we don't fully align, I think June 21st is the actual day it's celebrated in Canada. But because of the workings of the Monday holidays in Newfoundland and Labrador, we'll be observing it this year on Monday, June 23rd, but on both days, the 21st and the 23rd. To your point, Heidi, we don't feel we've really created a good, welcoming community until we start to include everybody. And this is a good step forward. So thanks for coming. And thank you. All right, Council, let's do a pick. Council, returning to the agenda, back to you. I'm thinking Councillor Rice. Okay, all yours, sir.
Yes, just to end off actually on that one, I just want to, the National Indigenous Day changing the holiday. I just want to say a big congratulations to the staff, our city staff that did all the work on this as well. I just want to say thank you for the time and the commitment and the work you put into it. So really appreciate it. Next one, number 2, is our invoices for approval. In your kit, you will see 11 items on our agenda. The committee recommends that the following invoices totaling $5,517,690.62 be approved for payment. And I want to just mention about our share of our St. John's Regional Fire Services, the cost. I mean, our annual cost for fire service for the regional services. And I so move.
Moved by Councillor Rice, thank you, and seconded by Councillor Lane. That's a whopping big amount for 2025. Are we paying them a bit too early? Or normally we pay quarterly, don't we, or monthly, I thought. Question.
Yes, Mayor. So this is for the full amount for the year, so we'll draw down on that PO based on the monthly billings.
All right, thank you. Any other questions? Hearing none. All in favor? Opposed? Carried, thanks.
Thank you. Next one is our payment register and our purchase card report. This one is for information of council only, and the following payment register report for May the 22nd to June the 4th, 2025, totaling $2,184,998.13, and that's for information purposes only. And I will pass the next part over to my colleague, Councillor Lane. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is an uncollectible account write-off. In the matter of Mount Pearl City Council versus Big Cheese Pizza Limited, the defendant corporation made a settlement offer in satisfaction of business tax arrears for the years 2020, 2021, and 2022. The remaining balance requires council approval for write-off before the settlement can be recorded by the Honorable Judge Lois Gaines. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommend that the remaining balance of $3,501.81 be written off. This account is included in the city's allowance for doubtful accounts and is within the budget for bad debt expense. And I so move.
Thank you. Moved by Councillor Lane, seconded by Councillor Rice. All in favor? Opposed? Carried. And back to you, folks.
The next item is the Facade Improvement Program application recommendation. The city has received one application for the Facade Improvement Grant Program. The applicant is Island Dog Spa at 1 Olympic Drive. The building is currently owned and operated by Pipers Limited. The project meets the criteria outlined in the program guidelines and, based on scoring criteria, is eligible for a grant in the amount of $5,333. The Corporate Services and Public Works Committee recommends approval of a facade improvement grant to Island Dog Spa in the amount of $5,333, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Lane, seconded by Councillor Rice. And question from Councillor Fry.
Yes, I'm not against this. I just have a question for clarification. I noticed that 1 Olympic Drive, that's a fairly new building that was recently renovated in the last number of years. And I thought that our facade improvement program was to help restore facade of the city. So I'm just wondering why this one, being a newish building, is it falls into the category and the criteria for this program.
Looking around the table, like you, Director of Corporate Services? I'm thinking there's no restriction on the time frame, right? For in terms of age.
Absolutely, you can. And I'm sorry, I probably should have brought it up sooner. So I apologize for that. Okay. Thank you.
Proceed with the motion. Okay, any other questions? Should be an incoming before the end of the meeting if I know them, the staff very well. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Okay, so I'll move on to the last item on our agenda, which is the Public Works Status Report. Under Roads Division, work continues on asphalt repairs, sidewalk and street sweeping, maintenance holes and catch basin repairs, lawn repairs, bulk garbage collection is ongoing, and site work for the kiosks at the Team Guju complex and accessible boardroom at City Hall. Under Parks Division, work continues on landscape prep work, maintenance on sports fields, Team Guju baseball field upgrades continues in preparation for the 2025 Summer Games. Parks and open space mowing, a new playground structure has been installed at Gloria Pearson Community Center. And let me just say, it is absolutely wonderful. And it's been getting great use so far. So that's excellent news for here in the city. Fleet Division, there's ongoing service and maintenance. UTM Division, the lowest water consumption on record for the month of May. This is 11 consecutive months of decreases. So guys, this is absolutely fantastic. Imagine the lowest water consumption in May. I just think that shows what great work we're putting into decreasing our water supply usage. Under general calls, plugged sewers, service locates, new water and sewer services inspections, and camera inspections and troubleshooting. Water and sewer repairs, leak detection, catch basin cleaning is underway. Lift station inspections and maintenance, and the water levels at Babel's Big Pond as of June 2nd, 2025. Council, you can see below, and it's quite good there as well. And that'll conclude our report for the evening.
Thank you, well delivered. What to do with all that water we're saving? There is an answer related to the facade improvement program, follows from a PDF freezing on a certain laptop here in the city, but I'm going to turn to our CAO, Rideout, please.
Thank you. Just Councillor Fry, back to answer your question on the facade improvement grant program. And I apologize, my PDF froze just as you were asking. So I restarted it. However, basically, as the mayor indicated, there is no timeline in response to what the criteria meets in terms of date. However, this particular application did score 63 out of 100, which resulted in the $5,333 recommendation for approval. So what the applicant is doing is to add signage to improve the look and provide a more modern appearance to make it attractive to tenants and future business opportunities. So right now, the entrance to that particular unit is on the side of the building, and there's no indication for the proponent of that's where the operation is happening. So the primary remediation on the building, if you recall, was in the front facade. So that was the justification for the recommendation.
I thank you for that. I guess my question is the facade improvement for leasehold improvements when a new business takes over of a new space, because there are always improvements to do that sort of thing. So does our facade grant program fall under that category?
Technically, it can. However, as I think I can't remember exactly which committee meeting it was, but it was requested that all grant programs be reconsidered in terms of the terms and conditions going into the 2026 planning period. So all of the terms and conditions are under review right now, but in the existing one, it is applicable.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate that.
Yeah, I guess one of the issues is what's the purpose of the facade improvement program? And I think the key word that you're focusing on, and I hear you, Councillor Fry, is the word improvement. It's easy to fall back just on the on facade, but I would encourage the committee to continue to look at that and make sure it achieves the outcomes that we anticipate. But once you have the program guidelines set, you're literally going to have to follow them too, right? You know, so well said, CAO Rideout, and we are now done. Corporate Services, Public Works, and I'm going to turn now, I believe, to Councillor Locke for Recreation, Community Safety.
Thank you, Mayor. Before I get into our committee, though, I want to go back to what Councillor Lane was talking about with our lowest water consumption, for the month of May. But then I looked to the Bay Bulls Big Pond water levels, and I was a little concerned about this, given the trajectory that we're on here right now, and the levels are dropping, relative to the last 2024, 2023. And despite all the efforts that we're putting in place to preserve and conserve water, the levels are still on the decrease. So I was thinking today what that level might be at had we not undertaken our aggressive leak detection and water conservation measures. So I just wanted to highlight that we're doing our part here regionally. And I just hope that our neighboring communities who also avail of this regional water supply will certainly look into some more aggressive reduction measures, as the City of Mount Pearl has. On to our committee, Mayor. I have the first one, and I'll turn the second one over to my co-chair, Councillor Fry. The first one for us is our summer day camp. How nice, just around the corner. And the bus service is tender for this year, 2025. So our committee is seeking the approval of council to award the bid to the busing taxi company for our day camp transportation for our summer program. You can see the background information there. We had 3 bids, and our committee is recommending that we approve to the lowest bid, which is Bercy's Taxi Incorporated, for the contract, again, for our summer day camp transportation. And the lowest qualified bid came in at $33,177.50, and this includes HST. And we're seeking, again, approval of council to award this bid, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Locke, seconded, thank you, by Councillor Fry. Any questions? So summer's coming and summer day camps are coming. I'm really impressed by your prognosis there. And it's going to cost us a bit of money, but I believe parents pay a tidy sum, right, for a very, very good set of programs, which I look at Director Collins are sold out for this year.
Yes, they always do.
They always do.
Yeah.
I'll call the question if you don't have any. All in favor? Those
Aye.
opposed? Thank you. Over to you, Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Also with summer, of course, comes summer fitness and swimming programs. Right? So the following item is brought forward for the information of public. Online registration for the summer fitness and swimming programs will open soon, and registration scheduled on the following dates. So the summer fitness programs from July the 6th to August the 29th. The resident registration is Tuesday, June the 17th, and non-resident registration is Thursday, June the 19th. And for summer swim lessons, July the 6th to August the 30th, the resident registration is Monday, June 23rd, and non-resident registration is Wednesday, June 25th. Now, as always, proof of residency is required in advance and must be submitted prior to the resident registration dates, and this will avoid any confusion during the registration process. And all registrations must be completed online. And that's it for our committee report, Your Worship. Thank you.
Thank you much. Turning over now to the PED Committee, Planning, Engineering, Development. Councillor Antle, I believe, is speaking first.
Thank you, Your Worship. And keeping with the sun theme, we're going to move right into sunroom. I have number 1 is number 5 Putney Place. It's a rear yard setback variance. The committee is seeking to install approval to install a sunroom at 5 Putney. The city is in receipt for an application for 5 Putney to install a sunroom on the existing single detached dwelling. The subject property is in a residential medium density zone. Our committee recommends approval of the requested rear yard setback of 3.53 meters to accommodate installation of a sunroom at the rear of the single detached dwelling at 5 Putney Place, and I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Thank you. Any questions? All in favor? Those opposed? Thank you. Carried.
And in keeping in that light, there's a notice of motion for a development regulations amendment for sunroom development. Pursuant to Section 4.11 of the city's rule of procurement, the Planning, Engineering, and Development Committee bring forward this notice of motion to undertake revisions to the current draft regulations. The amendment will outline the regulatory requirements for sunroom developments and decks to sunroom conversions. The committee recommends approval of the notice of motion to undertake the revision of the current draft regulations, and I so move.
No motion required. It's notice of. All good, yeah.
Just keeping ahead of the things. Number 3, and this is the final one for me, then I'll pass it on to Deputy Mayor. The building permit listings for May 19th to May the 30th. And the building permits, occupancy permit lists are both residential and commercial. You can see them in your deck. And they total, the first one, residential, is $1,730,950. And I so move.
It is moved by Councillor Antle, seconded by the Deputy Mayor. Questions? All in favor? Those opposed? I'm going to give some commentary, thank you, afterwards about whether this needs approval or not. I'm going to ask the CAO to speak to it, but let's carry on because we've got, for example, the words "for approval" are in the committee report. Yeah.
And for commercial, there's 3 there in your kit, total $36,800. And I so move.
Again, moved by Councillor Antle, and thank you, seconded by Deputy Mayor Kiley. All in favor?
And now I'll
that
pass
is
it over to the
carried as
Deputy
well.
Mayor, and you can continue what you're going to.
Thank you, Councillor Antle, and I'm going to continue on with some approvals for the Planning, Engineering, Development Committee, and the item in front of me right now is the development permit listing that covers the time frame of May 19th to May 30th, 2025. And the Planning, Engineering, Development Committee, we recommend that the development permits issued for this period be accepted as presented. And as you see, councillors, in your kit, there is one there, and it is a home-based business, just FYI, and I so move.
Moved by the Deputy Mayor, thank you, and seconded by Councillor Antle. All in favor? And that is carried as well. No opposed, right? Thanks, Mike.
Thank you, Your Worship. That leaves us to our Capital Works update. And we just want to give you some updates with regards to where we are on some of our key developments within the city. So the following items are brought forward for the information of the public, specifically Farrell Drive, Topsail Road to Evans Place. Construction is ongoing with the detour in place until June 27th, as well as Farrell Drive's pump house tender is closed now. I believe the tender will be closed May 30th, 2025. We then have the sewage lift station, and the tender was issued on May 16th, 2025, with a closing date of June 17th. Wyatt Boulevard upgrading and Mount Pearl Carson connection. The tender was issued on May 21st, and we are hoping to have a date of closing of June 13th, which is just around the corner. And of course, I identify, because I know this is a very busy time for a lot of our Capital Works updates, to certainly check out our website and subscribe to our updates, where you can get them on the spot via text or via email when there's any sort of change, specifically around anything that can impact your travel to and from the city. And then finally, for the information of the public, we have an occupancy permit listing between the period of May 19th and May 30th. So it was important to make sure we have that in the minutes. And as you can see, councillors, Part 3 occupancy permits issued there are in your kit. And that's just for information purposes. So that is it for our committee, and I bring you back to the mayor.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I just want to turn to CAO or City Clerk, I guess CAO, just to clarify whether motions are required. We would still bring in permits because we want to be transparent. But the question then becomes, do we need motions to ratify, and what's the effect of that?
There is no motion required for occupancy permits. Those are approved by staff. The wording in previous motions, which may be what was confusing, is that we accepted the occupancy permit as presented, which I think was causing a bit of confusion as to whether it was included in the motion or not. It wasn't actually. They are FYI for public disclosure. This is just trying to clarify it.
What about building permits?
Those require a motion.
Thank you for clarifying. So that takes the mud out of the clear part. Yes, thank you, Councillor Antle. Okay, I'm glad we did that, and we're going to start a roundtable now, and I believe, Councillor Rice, you are first, sir.
Thank you, Worship. Busy times all around. So I just want to make a couple of comments at the first one. I got a couple items there for the roundtable. The first one, I want to just mention to the residents of the city that we still got the 20-minute makeover. I know that I see a lot of emails coming back and forth. You know, I realize that our public works staff clean up around the city, you know, quite frequently, and I see them going around many streets doing that. But you know, I'd like to see the residents take more initiative because you know, if we're supplying the bags and gloves and you know, for residents of the city, I'd like to see more residents get out. So I just want to put that out there that. You can come down to the city hall or up to the Summit Center. I think it is. The other bags are the Summit Center or the Reed Center to get the bags. Was that? Yeah. So I mean, like you know, take the initiative. For 20 minutes, I mean, you can pick up a bag of garbage, and you know, it certainly cleans up your neighborhood because I know we have a lot of trees in the city of Mount Pearl, and in your backyard, you know, it'd be nice to get out just to get out and help clean up the city. The staff certainly do it, but it certainly. Will be nice if more residents will get out and do that. The second one I got there is I just want to, it's official now, I just want to say a big congratulations to Councillor Locke on his, we all attended FCM, Federation of Canadian Municipalities in Ottawa. And he's one of the board of directors now, representing Mount Pearl and Bigger, I think the bigger cities, is it? Yeah. So I just want to say it's official now. He got elected up there. It was a phenomenal weekend of networking. And I just want to say how impressed I was the trade floor show this year. A lot of the vendors, a lot of the new items coming on stream. I was actually really impressed by some of the new items that are on the market. And one of the biggest things I noticed, I mentioned this to councillors, probably all of the council, was the homes that the people are doing now, the prefabbed houses. They're complete with everything in them, washer, dryer, fridge, stove, and everything. So so many new items coming on the market, and it's so nice to see. But attending FCM was a really nice event this year. And Ottawa was great. They were great hosts in the city, but really impressed with the new items coming downstream. That's it for me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Over to you now, Councillor Lane, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just a few items for me this evening. First, I was so happy to attend the Special Olympics award ceremony this past weekend. It's always a great time. It's amazing to see how much sportsmanship and lifting each other up happens at these award ceremonies. They're all just so excited for each other. So congratulations to all the award winners, the athletes, and the volunteers. And here's to many more years of Special Olympics and all of the fun and sports that goes along with that. I also wanted to send congratulations to Alex Taylor. Alex and really his whole family do a lot of volunteering here in our community. And he was the recipient of the Mount Pearl Lions Club Lion Alex Noseworthy Memorial Student Volunteer Award. Alex is certainly deserving of this because he is volunteering all the time, whether it's playing music to fundraise, which he actually does with the Lions Club several times. He just dedicates a lot of time to the community. So huge congratulations to Alex Taylor. And O'Donnell High School also had their annual Relay for Life fundraiser this past weekend. And there was a huge turnout, as there always is. And since I work at O'Donnell, I've seen all the work that goes behind planning this event. And so huge kudos to the staff for putting it off and the student as well, because there's a lot of student volunteers, the student council, and many other individuals that were a huge part of this success, and they raised a lot of money for cancer. So huge kudos to them. And not only was it a fun evening, but it was for a great cause. That's it for me. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Councillor Fry.
Thank you, Your Worship. Just two things for me this evening. I want to extend congratulations to two Mount Pearl residents, Donna Collins, who was named the new District Service Director for Canada for the Atlantic Zone, and to Mount Pearl kinsman Roy Locke on becoming the Zone D District Governor. Now, the thing with this, I mean, Canada is known for giving back to the community and serving the greatest needs. But these positions are all volunteer and at their own expense. So when you're sitting in a room of people who are just community volunteers, it's very humbling. So I just want to say congratulations to both Donna and to Roy. And also, I just want to remind residents of the upcoming closures of our Summit Pool. So commencing June the 16th, our Summit Center Pool will be closed for annual maintenance. And we do this every year. This year, it's from June the 16th to July 4th. And the Glacier Arena will be closed for annual maintenance from June the 16th to July the 6th. So as you know, our facilities get a lot of use, and it's very important to keep them maintained. Some rentals will continue in the Glacier 1, and we just want to thank everybody for their patience during this period, and it is important to continue with our maintenance period. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Over to you, Councillor Locke.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a couple as well. Just an update on our community safety plan. The committee working towards that. We met yesterday. Significant progress is being made. Where I think today we received our draft survey. We're going to do an online survey for residents as well as some paper copies for those that may not have access to online. In addition to that, we're planning some focus groups with various stakeholders throughout the community, and also dedicated interviews. So work is progressing, and we're hoping to have a draft plan by mid-August. So just wanted to update the residents on that we are moving forward, and I'm delighted with all the input on the committee, and of course, our MEO are leading the way on that, Danielle and Blair, and they're doing a tremendous job. But all the stakeholders are certainly bringing different viewpoints around the table. So I look forward to that. I just wanted to provide an update to council and our residents on that. Another thing, Mayor, just this morning during breakfast, listening to CBC, as I'm apt to do, CBC Radio, this week is Men's Health Week. And I listened keenly. It occurs annually around, June 10th, the 16th. This year, I think it's the 9th to the 15th. And the reason for Men's Health Week is to provide dedicated opportunity to raise awareness about men's mental health, including depression and anxiety. And I don't remember all the stats, but it caught my attention because some of the stats were, they were alarming to me. And men generally, the commentary from the gentleman being interviewed, is that they internalize it, they carry it, they don't report, they don't speak out because of the male macho image and traditional stereotype of the male being strong and stuff like this. So I was keenly interested hearing this, and the whole purpose of the week, as the mayor said, is not coming, people aren't coming, so to raise awareness, to highlight the prevalence of depression and anxiety. So there was a study done, CBC reported on it in 2020 or 2024. Men aged 19 to 29, almost half of them suffer from depression. And when you look at moderate to severe anxiety, it jumps to 58%. So it's higher in young men, it's higher in men in the LGBTQ plus community. And I felt it important to raise it here because of all my time on council and all the proclamations that we have and all the people that come into this chamber, and they're all valuable. They just caught me off guard. I said, you know what, I hadn't tuned into that before. And when I learned that it was an annual event, I just felt, it was necessary to raise it here. So we're looking to break down stigma and encourages men to openly discuss their mental health struggles and to seek help without feeling shame or embarrassment. Men's Health Week provides resources and support systems to help men navigate the challenges of depression and to find, appropriate treatments. So I just wanted to highlight that, to let men know that it's okay to not feel okay, and it's okay to reach out and share your feelings. So I wanted to take the time here, Mayor, and I appreciate council giving me that opportunity. Thank you.
No, well said. Thank you. Over to you, Deputy Mayor Kiley.
Thank you, Your Worship. I have an item, but I wanted to comment on what Councillor Locke had just said. To say, I think it's incredibly important that you mention that week and you talk about it. What I can say is my work for about 6 years at the Sexual Assault Center, one of the biggest mountains were to know how to engage survivors of sexual violence, and specifically men, because there is trauma there, there's mental health issues there. Suicide rates are absolutely prevalent, and many of the family that are left with that are like, I had no idea. And a lot of that had to do with not feeling like you could talk about it. That whole idea of that toxic masculinity of you can't speak, you can't say anything about it. And a lot of what is happening, it's just the tip of the iceberg, because we don't really know much about the stats. We only can tell about those advocates, people who have the courage to talk about it and raise awareness. So I think it's important that even at that level of, this is the week and this is why it's important, so important. Thank you for doing that. I just wanted to highlight some items in the community this week. While my fellow colleagues were attending FCM and doing good work around municipal engagement and collaboration and all that, myself and Councillor Antle were here representing the city at multiple events. And one thing that I think I could talk about, a myriad of things that were happening with regards to the many things that were organized by volunteer organizations, but that's really what I wanted to focus on. It was a mindset that when we think about a lot of the events that we had attended over the last week, they were arranged by volunteers. Even when we think about those that were helping with the events, they were volunteers. So I just wanted to identify, I know it's not volunteerism week, but just how prevalent the importance is for volunteers in this city. And without them, it wouldn't be as active. It wouldn't be near as engaging. And I just wanted to focus on, there was a Old Friends dance that had happened last week. There were organizations left with cadets that were having their final assembly. As Councilor Lane talked about, there was Special Olympics, and then there was a Relay for Life. Sunday was the MS walk that again the Taylor family had organized and arranged, and it goes on and on and on. And I just want to identify that as not only as a thank you, but we have to kind of think of planting the seed of volunteerism is changing, that we're seeing more and more concerns about people not being able to engage and what have you. And I think as a municipality, as a province, that's going to see some large impacts. So it just be mindful of, I think for myself in the work that I'm doing here at this table and others, that how do we support our volunteers? How do we support the lifeline of volunteerism within our community? And I think we're not the only ones considering that, and I don't think it's just an issue with one organization and the other, but it is an important point when we attend these events and we're looking at volunteers for the Canada Games, thousands of people to volunteer, that we as a, you know, we as an organizing committee, or we as a municipality, or we as a province, that we have to recognize how do we best support those, and how do we see the future of volunteerism, not only within the last 5 years, but 10 years and 20 years down the line, because the impacts will be absolutely massive within this community. So that was a thought I had. I know it was long regarding a lot of things, but I think it's an important one that we need to consider at all levels of our work here at the table, and maybe other hats we have in and no doubt in other parts of our lives. So thank you very much.
Thanks, Deputy Mayor. Over to you, Councillor Andal.
Worship, the pleasure of going last is I have so many things to talk about. It's just keeps on adding notes and notes and notes. Yeah, I'll be nice and quick. I only got 7 to bring up. Anyhow, first off, it's very important. Next week is Public Service Week, and many people here in our room here are all public servants. From June 15th to the 21st, this week is dedicated to recognizing the dedication of contributions of our public services across the country. Thank you very much. This is a time to celebrate the essential services our municipality provides, services that support our quality of life in each day, from waste collection, snow clearing, believe it or not, clean water delivery, parks maintenance, recreational programming, community safety, infrastructure, and so much more. These are just some of the services that help keep Mount Pearl running. And there are things that we rely on without a second thought. And the next week is the week that we acknowledge the effort and commitment of our staff to take the time and deliver them day in and day out. Thank you very much. On behalf of our
That
council.
deserves a round of applause.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bill, go ahead.
On behalf of our council, I want to express our gratitude to the continued dedication and excellence in our service delivery here in Mount Pearl. Our community is stronger because of you, more connected and better connected because of you. Thank you. Let's take time this week to reflect on the value of our municipal services and thank those who help make Mount Pearl such a great place to live. Thank you very much. And now, and that's only a few more things to bring up. Last week, Hockey NL had their awards ceremony out in Gander. And a good friend of mine, a good friend of anybody here in Mount Pearl, Dave Murphy, was awarded the Jerry Taylor Memorial Junior Council Merit Award. We all know Jerry Taylor, and it's fitting that Dave won this award. This award is presented annually to a volunteer who has substantial contribution to fostering and development of junior hockey in the region and the province of Newfoundland and Labrador. This is the region, it's a big award. The recipient of the 2025 Memorial Award was Dave Murphy, and a warm congratulations. If you want to go up to the Blades, up to the arena, any rink, anytime, Dave is there. Constant, you ask Dave to do something, without a doubt, he's there. I was talking to Wally O'Neill, you asked Dave, and Dave is incredible. So congratulations to Dave, and thank you very much. And the last one for me, and it really is, it's Canada Games. Myself and Councillor Rice are both involved with the Canada Games very much. We got 60 days to go, so it's getting short, and we have almost 4,500 volunteers. Many people have asked me how we can volunteer. You put in your name, and where's 4,500 people? It's taken a while to go through the clearances and this kind of stuff. But if you have any issues, you go down to Corpus Christi there on Waterbridge Road, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 8 to 5, and somebody there will help you out. In Mount Pearl, we're doing baseball over on Team Guju. We need lots of volunteers over there. And over in the Glacier, we're doing wrestling. And so we need volunteers up there. Anytime at all, just call down. And if you want to volunteer down at Team Guju, please say transportation. But anyhow, no. Yeah, baseball transportation. Yes, baseball. But just say it's going to be a great thing, and it's great. If you want to take a chance to take a look at our baseball field and the work that's being done down at Team Guju, it's amazing. We're getting a fabulous baseball field. We already did, but a little bit of additions we're getting down there is fabulous now. And that's everything from me, Your Worship. Thank you.
No, thank you very much. There's a lot on the go, and I know there's Director Collins, I believe there's another statue that's got to be installed. Do you want to tell us about it? Down at Team Gusha, the current construction may have sort of delayed us, but we're getting near that time. We're going to unveil it.
Yes, there is a structure, or sorry, a statue that came in last year with the other statues. The reason it hasn't been installed is that the side going in Arena Road, where the connection for the services for the new building. So once everything is completed there, the new statue will be put in place and we'll have a ceremony.
Likely this summer? Ends on,
Hopefully.
if Director Bat can give us a clear date, clearance date, Okay. I get to finish the meeting on a really positive note, but I did want to acknowledge what Councillor Lane said. Really for Life, $22,000. We saw some of the volunteers here earlier on, and a big shout out to Principal Daryl Sneed, teacher Laura Halley, and then many other volunteers at O'Donnell. It was a bit of a fun event, I got to say, and they had a lot of parents up there too, right, helping out as well, right? Yeah. Councillor Lane or Locke, to your point about Men's Health Week, Father's Day is coming up, and I think that's the significance of the timing. I just wanted to say, from me to you fathers here in the room, a happy Father's Day. To everybody who has a father in your family, whether your father's still here or departed. Happy Father's Day, everybody, and enjoy this coming weekend and celebrate family throughout the year and acknowledge your fathers on Sunday. And with that note, we have to adjourn the meeting, and it's a motion. Thank you, Councillor Antle, and second by Councillor Locke. We are adjourned.